How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and today I'm on what's it called, Lake Coved, on the Kola Peninsula. I'm going to do one called Log Discord, and yeah, again, you've got to deliver 3 medium logs. So I'm going to try to do it in one run, which is why I've got my Dolphin with the logging crane on it. I've got the Paystar that's got the bigger sideboard, so I can fit some logs in. And this is the route. I've got to come out there, just grab a trailer, kind of zip all the way up this way is what I'm going to do. Kind of follow the normal path, get up into this top corner. There is a logging station there. It tells you have to go and get them from a mandra, but you don't. And then for the way back, when I've actually got the logs, I'm going to try and cut basically down the frozen lake, join back up the road there, or loop round, but either way, just take them, yeah, pretty much at opposite ends of the map. So yeah, looks fairly simple, shouldn't be too bad. I'm going to actually take 2 medium log trailers this time, because if you remember not too long ago, if you've seen the video, I tried a mission similar to this. I put 6 medium logs in that sideboard trailer on the Paystar, and they're a bit awkward to get out with the crane, so this time I'm just going to take 2 log trailers. They'll have like 2 of the deliveries covered, of course, and then yeah, there'll just be 3 medium logs in that sideboard trailer, which should be a hell of a lot easier to get out. You can see again there though, as I started towing, yeah, you need to manually turn the engines on the vehicle you're towing. It seems to be a fairly new bug. You always used to see it just flash up like the starting engine sign on its own when you winch or something, but for whatever reason it's not doing it. So as I set off then, that thing behind me was like a dead weight. Now its engine's running. It's still not doing a whole lot, and I kind of know that because the Paystar does drink quite a lot of fuel, and it doesn't have a very big fuel tank, but it clearly doesn't use fuel as quick as it would if you were driving it doing this mission. And of course I'm bringing a goddamn horse of a vehicle with me. When don't I? But I actually think there is good reason to on this one, because I suppose there's repairs is always nice. But yeah, the Dolphin's not exactly renowned for long-range missions without some kind of fuel stop. Again, the Paystar, although I am towing it, I wasn't sure how quickly that would nail through its fuel, so I definitely needed to take some kind of extra supplies. Although you'll see a little bit later on, I've got a pretty conveniently stashed fuel semi-trailer thing, which I'll mention it when we get there, but yeah, I'd definitely recommend stashing a few of these around this map. There is a fuel station, like, pretty much outside the garage, but again, it's outside the garage, so the chances are, by the time you're passing it, you probably barely use, 5% of your fuel tank. Then boxes jump, I don't know why, that makes me happy every time. And yeah, like I said, they've both got a medium trailer this time, so we'll see how it goes. I had all the mods turned off, so I haven't got the off-road trailer pack, although to be fair, even though I think it is better in the long run, the modded trailers, the off-road trailers, I'm pretty sure they weigh more, and some of the non-modded vehicles seem to struggle a little bit with it. Overall, I was just like, yeah, this map and the route I'm taking, in theory, shouldn't be that tippy, so the logs themselves tipping shouldn't be too much of a worry. Plus, I'm planning on bringing them back kind of over the frozen lake, which, yeah, is very flat ground at least, so I wasn't too worried about that. But I suppose essentially having lighter weight trailers would be a bit convenient. I was looking around just enjoying the view of my road train, and yeah, I let it die in high range. See, it's weird though, because I just died in high range, then I put it back into high range and it was able to stay in it, but it was a lot slower. Drop it back down to water again, let it build a bit more, stick it in high range. Now we're kind of back to a normal pace. It might be a mile, an hour or two slower, but this is pretty much what the Dolphin does in high range. So yeah, right now the Paystar behind me and its medium log trailer isn't really making too much of a difference to the situation. Maybe the Dolphin's drinking fuel a little bit quicker because it's hauling more stuff, but again, we've got a horse, so we've got the fuel aspect covered. And like I said, I need this set up. Yeah, I need a log crane. It's a shame really, because when you look at the Dolphin now, it's like there's kind of half a truck being wasted. Kind of feel like, not that I really think the game devs are really going to do anything about it, and I suppose mods are mods anyway. They kind of have already had the idea of mixing and matching all sorts, but yeah, it does feel like slightly wasted space. Like you could have a little sideboard or flatbed on the back or something. They kind of position the crane on the Dolphin in a bit of a crap situation. I appreciate it's got twin front axles, and that's why, in theory, the crane is stepped more towards the middle of its chassis, so like it doesn't hit the tyres, but you could easily just prop it up, on 2 bits of metal connecting it to the chassis and just have it above the tyres, so you kind of in theory, the Dolphin's long enough that it should be able to have this logging crane, or a normal crane then, just for the sake of argument, and a sideboard. But yeah, it never lets you do that with this, which, like I said, is a bit of a shame, because it's got a long enough chassis for it. And yeah, well, things have been going pretty smoothly so far, but for the most part that was basically road driving. That's one thing with the Paystar. Well, in general, like that road train I had going the other day with the Azov Iceberg and that Azov Bobic, yeah, as I said, because they're both articulated, it was like a pretty nice little kind of agile, snaky road train. This thing, being a pretty long truck, it just absolutely cuts the corner like mad, so you do have to try and go as wide as you can, which, yeah, the roads and widths and everything don't always let that be the case. It's funny though, driving around on this map, because I remember when we first got this map in general, yeah, like this was essentially phase 1. A lot of it felt really restrictive, and since they keep dialing it up every phase it seems, like phase 2 I didn't really enjoy. I have been enjoying phase 3 more, definitely, but it is getting a little bit tedious, particularly like the farm area on Black Badger Lake and stuff. And yeah, coming back to this map, kind of what they consider, or what I considered super snow, is yeah, almost like a welcome change from the actual super snow and super mud we've had of late. This is kind of like super snow light. Yeah, so like I say, I had to manually drive the Paystar around, but it's all good. So you get your hard jumping for a second, keeps you excited, makes you think he's going to fall off, but he hangs on like a beauty. Yeah, personally, when I'm driving through it, I prefer to just cut down the left of this. In fact, to be fair, it looks like they might have updated something with the ice, because there used to be just massive chunks of ice sitting in that muddy bit to my right, which, driving through it wasn't the issue, but you just hit a piece of ice that had kind of almost glitch into your truck and lock in place. It'd also lock in place with the ground and just get stuck in there. That's why I always got used to just driving round to the left, but looking at it then, I couldn't really see the chunks like they used to be, and I also kind of noticed it with some of the breakable ice in like the lake section and that the other week on when I was playing something, and yeah, they might have updated it somehow, which is good. That's like probably one of the only examples I can think of where they seem to have yeah, came to a rational, fair decision and just kind of thought, well, I mean, again, it was one of those things when you got stuck in the breakable ice all the time. At first, I certainly loved driving through the breakable ice and whatever, but yeah, you got stuck 99% of the time. So again, they kind of priced it out of the game, where it's like, well, I'll just avoid that section altogether. Which, yeah, may be sensible in real life, but like I said, if you've actually gone to the effort of coding it into the game, then you may as well make it at least potentially passable, so that we'll risk attempting it rather than just avoiding it completely. Yeah, at the minute again, that Paystar couldn't make it round the tight corner again, but that section of snow I just drove through it still is kind of super snow, considering how deep it is. It's like, you know, 5 inches deep or something. It does slow the trucks down a hell of a lot, but again, it's not as restricted as some of the stuff. At least you still go about 5 miles an hour through there or something. But you'll see when I approached it in the Dolphin, it was in high gear, and it made me basically stall out of high gear. I mean, being conservative enough with my fuel that I keep turning the engine off in the Dolphin every time I switch back to this. Overall as well, I kind of think this thing, it motors along pretty nicely. I like how it drops into high gear and everything, like now. And again, I know this snow is, yeah, a little bit over-restrictive compared to the rest for whatever reason, but considering it has got 5 axles, 10 wheels, it's certainly doesn't feel as at home in off-roading situations as something like the Bruce. And strictly speaking, you wouldn't think design-wise Bruce was really built for off-roading with a big fat chin like that. He does look like, you know, just more like a real-life crane truck, which again, I know they might have to do the odd little bit of off-roading, but they're certainly not like built for that kind of thing. But yeah, this thing, it's like I said, I don't know, might be grip, but it doesn't feel as well planted as like Bruce does. But then again, Bruce is probably a lot heavier, and he's got bigger, powerful engines kind of make up for that. It's probably that. And yeah, still working out other ways. Like I said, if they actually added log cradle things in this game, instead of having the crane on the Dolphin, I could have a log cradle. Yeah, have logs on the Dolphin, tow a medium log trailer, and then winch to, well, it wouldn't have to be the Paystar, winch to another Dolphin, for example, with just a log cradle on the back, so I wouldn't even have to have 2 medium log trailers, and that'd be a much more efficient road train, probably go a lot smoother, all things considered, and just makes more sense. Like I say, I think overall that's the biggest way they drop the ball with this third release, is like the lack of trucks that can carry logs without trailers. In fact, I don't think we have any trucks. Well, with the Cat 745C, but that thing's pretty unversatile. It can't tow a trailer, so now it's stuck to having one anyway. Going through there is like, that's a lesson. Keep ramming it until it goes. That's what she said. And we made it through. Yeah, that ice is normally pretty trollish there, and well, I don't really know. The Dolphin was certainly struggling a bit there. It does catch its chin a bit on kind of when you drop into the ice that much, but the Paystar behind me was having none of it. He just kept flooring it as well, and yeah, one way or another it just kind of rammed me through there. And then yeah, once the Dolphin was out of there, the Paystar was kind of going to get yanked through there anyway. So up to now, things are going pretty smoothly. And like I said, overall this map was yeah, fairly enjoyable. I didn't really like this map at all at first. There is still certain issues with the free-range nature of this map. Like, things are going pretty well while I'm driving along the roads at the minute. If I just drove off to the right of me, it'll guarantee, like, auto make me go as slow as anything. And when I originally scouted this map, that's tend to, you know, what I used to do was just kind of go off everywhere. I didn't really listen to the roads. I'd try and, like, as the crow flies, aim at the watchtower and drive at it. And this level was definitely one that taught you, like, stick to the roads and find as close as you can get to the watchtower. You might have to do a tad of off-roading at the end, but yeah, and it kind of, I don't know, I wasn't enjoying it as much. Overall, once I got used to the different cut-throughs, that frozen lake section in the middle of the map definitely helped a lot, because that allows you to kind of get up and down each end of the map without too much hassle. But yeah, Mandra was still too trollish for me. Again, I will be going back on Mandra soon, because there is some login missions on there that I'll be doing. And we'll see if it still feels like the horrific state. Well, again, there was elements I certainly liked about Mandra. There was just nowhere to kind of, I don't know, yeah, get your foot down a bit and get a bit of hauling going. It was pretty much all of that map was just, yeah, tiptoeing through rough terrain at 1 mile an hour, which again is nice sometimes, but that was just a little bit nothing but. I tried to cut over. If you cut over right next to that telegraph pole, you can sometimes miss the ice, but to be honest, I didn't go far enough over, and I kind of probably made it worse, because I ended up dropping just half my truck in, and could have risked rolling, especially when the Paystar was ramming me through the rest of the way, but we're all good. Again, weight distribution life. He's a professional and he got it sorted. A little glitch there, apologies for that. Got it in high gear though, and it's ticking along pretty nicely, so that Paystar behind me must actually have its engine running. And yeah, when you get to here, if you just carry on straight down the road, there's like a big, I don't know, earthquake section, like a bomb's blown the road to pieces, so that'll be a lamppost. Yeah, I tend to find it better to just cut through this factory. It's getting over there. It's not necessarily getting over there, but when you just tap your tyres on those awkwardly angled concrete blocks, it absolutely deletes your truck. Like, it's ridiculous amount. You hit it at, yeah, 1 mile an hour and you'll get like 200 suspension damage, your fuel tank's entirely deleted, you'll blow 3 tyres, and it's like, what the hell, it's well over the top. Yeah, there is my conveniently stashed fuel semi-trailer thing, and for anyone who's newer, or even if you're not, to Lake Cobd, I would genuinely recommend, like, there's like, in fact you could see as well, I had a repair trailer kind of wedged in the corner as well. Yeah, that served me pretty well, to be honest, when I was generally doing this map. Like I said, trolling through the snow, even though there's a half decent pace to it, it's always keeping you at like a lot of revs and everything, so it's it does nail your fuel quite quick. And yeah, again, I mean, I've got the loaf with me, so I could have refueled with that, but I kind of already know I'd used quite a bit of my Dolphin fuel just getting here, and I still think the loaf would have got me back, but again, it was my bonus. I conveniently stashed a semi-fuel trailer, and yeah, there was no reason just to drive past it, really. See, at this point, I just keep driving forward, like, just rip the stairs off the crane. It's not my crane, I don't mind. But no. Again, that's why we need damage mechanics. One day there'll be a game that's kind of a blend of, I don't know, like Grand Theft Auto 5 for, say, the open world element, SnowRunner for the terrain physics element, BeamMG, or NG, or whatever it is, for, like, yeah, soft body mechanics, or full-on crashing, and what else? I don't know, even those three games morphed together would be pretty bloody good, to be honest. Probably, I was not going to say Sims, maybe a bit more like Sim City. So there's more, or what is it now, the new one that seems to be pretty good, Cities Skylines or something. Like, in this game, I would say, particularly that we can earn a fair amount of money and all the rest of it, it'd be pretty cool if there was, like, properties you could buy on each map, even if it was for no other reason than bragging rights, but I don't know. Even better if there was like a home you could choose. It kind of makes sense if you're trucking in that area, you buy a home around there. But yeah, if you could kind of either pick a plot of land and entirely build a new house, you know, take some materials there, like metal beams, wooden planks, all sorts of stuff to build your house. I just think that would be quite a good focal point of each map. And yeah, with the nice views they've done on this map, if they kind of picked one of the best spots on the map view-wise and allowed you to potentially buy the plot of land, buy the materials, build your own house, and then that's it. Maybe it'll just work as a garage, or again, I don't know, a save point or whatever. It doesn't even have to really be anything. Like I said, it'd just be for the point of having it. And yeah, I quite like that idea. Like, again, I like, I was going to say, yeah, building houses and stuff. Not necessarily that, but it'd be pretty cool. But it was like in Grand Theft Auto 5, you could buy, say, the golf club and all stuff like that, but they definitely could have made a lot more stuff you could buy. I'm trying to think which Grand Theft Auto it was. Oh, I think it was Vice City. You could buy quite a few properties on Vice City, and a lot of them had, like, well, not a lot of them, but some of them had helicopter pads on the roof, etc. But yeah, it was quite cool just being able to buy up a load of stuff, and on Grand Theft Auto 5 they definitely could have added more stuff. When I got to here, by the way, if you've seen, I was looking on the map, I could have looped round, I couldn't resist. I could see my destination, and there was only trees between me and it, and I was not willing to let them be the reason I wasn't going to make it. So, stupidly or not, I don't know, but I went for it. So, there's one set of medium logs. I may as well already bang the 3 logs in there. It's funny as well, the logs get a line of snow on top of them on this map, but they don't always stay on the top. It's like once the logs tip, the snow covering goes wherever it likes. And yeah, I had to split these up again because cutting through those trees was like, it was a bit of a tight squeeze. Don't know what she said. I'm going to cut most of this out because, to be honest, I managed to save over a minute off the video, but you'll see towards the end. This thing, yeah, this is where I was sort of saying, like, considering the amount of axles and everything it's got, you'd expect it to go a little bit better than this. And I've only got it in auto, it's not able to put the diffs on, but it was one of them. I tried low range diffs on, but that makes you just go so slow anyway that the gaining grip is just cancelled out by the lack of speed anyway, so you may as well take your chances, stick it in auto, and you might get little areas where you get a little bit of extra speed. Yeah, so that's 2 of the 3 logs. Now we've got to stick 3 of these in the Paystar. Which, like I said, at least this way it'll leave room for, I can actually get my crane back down and be able to get them back out without having to flip the Paystar over. Not that I mind if that ever has to be an option. I was looking at missions earlier when I was kind of deciding what I was going to do tonight, and one of them is on, what was it, Drowned Lands, and I think you've got to take 6 lots of medium logs to the farm, which is kind of on the other side of the map. And it's not the end of the world, it's not the most ruthless drive, it's, for the most part, there's a fair amount of road driving, but yeah, 6 lots of medium logs when the best you can do on this game is make a road train, and even then you can only take 2 lots. so you'd have to build 3 road trains and do 3 separate trips. It's a little bit excessive. Somebody was saying earlier, I believe it was Kansas Farmer, but there's some kind of mod where, say you've got your logs loaded and you need to deliver 3 loads to a place, you click deliver logs, but it keeps your logs on the trailer, so essentially you can just keep delivering logs and cover like all 3 loads with 1 load. Which, yeah, I can see why someone's made that mod, because, again, I mean, taking that farm one as an example, where you got to take 6 lots, especially that a lot of it is road driving, it's like, once you've done it, I mean, again, if you didn't use the road train option, that'd be 6 separate trips. It's kind of like, once you've done it kind of twice max, is really the most you want to be going. Any more than that, and it's now just, yeah, you're repeating the exact same mission, essentially. You've just took the mission and timesed it by 3 or something to make it a more difficult mission. They could have just as easily changed the location and said, you know, deliver a few here, and a few there. At least it'd kind of mix it up a little bit. Can he make it? Of course he can make it under there. He's a limbo professional. He remembers what happened with that pipe on the Black Badger Lake. See, motoring along now, I believe I forgot so far to turn the engine on the Paystar, and while I was going now, I was getting into 2nd gear and I was sometimes able to, well, attempt it in high, but it was having none of it. And then it started dying just even when I got up into 2nd gear. It wasn't happy about it and it dropped back to 1st. And yeah, I was kind of thinking, well, I'm probably just destined to stick to this speed while I'm going along here. But yeah, as I was looking around, yeah, in some point in a minute, it dawned on me that yeah, I must have turned the engine off while I was loading the logs again, just to save a bit of fuel. And as it didn't manually, yeah, there you go, start engine. And the difference being, I'm straight into 2nd or 3rd gear, I can bang it straight into high, and now we're making good time again. I've got to take a left in. It was a good job, like I can spot that sneaky little tree stump hiding behind that sign. If I'd cut that corner, no doubt one of them, something would have got hung up on them, just to ruin my day. But I seen him, I was on to him. Obviously the sign doesn't worry me, I think I can just ram them out of the way. I like signs in this game. They didn't give you any trouble. Oh yeah, another game that could blend in to that thing I was saying was like Grand Theft Auto, SnowRunner, BeamNG, some kind of Red Faction-esque element, so the you know, to be able to destroy things. I was just thinking as I was cutting through that farm, if I hypothetically went wide and smashed into that chimney thing that was on the end of the factory, it would be quite cool if it just crumbled and fell to pieces. One day there should be a game like that. Could be a little while yet, but we're getting there. Come a long way since Pong and everything. I remember, I don't know if anybody's seen it, but there was like a trailer for a game called Raw that essentially, probably not maybe the, you know, terrain physics and all the rest of it, but it was a bit like a Grand Theft Auto open world thing, but a little bit more, I don't know, broad on what you can do. You could be like a good guy, a bad guy. It was supposed to be some kind of online multiplayer thing where you could be like part of the police and chase people down and all sorts. It sounded good in theory. I think it ended up being some kind of Kickstarter scam, which is a shame because the actual game itself, and you know, if it was true to what they said it'd be amazing. To be fair, it might have been a full-on scam, I don't know, but it might have been partly wishful thinking, where it was like that's the game they'd like to make, but it's extremely unlikely. Like again, Rockstar would probably have the best chance of making a game like that. I mean, in the end, it wouldn't be that much different from something like Grand Theft Auto. Then you need to add a few more elements of free will or whatever on Grand Theft Auto, and again a little bit more customization as far as like buying different properties and doing all that kind of thing goes. Then again, I think with Grand Theft Auto now, they're sort of online seems to be their big money maker, so it's a shame really, because I believe you were able to buy more properties in online mode, but like I said, I went on it a while ago and yeah, that guy killed me when I was leaving the casino for no apparent reason. So then I waited about 40 minutes, literally, outside, and the second he appeared, I killed him. And then I got in a... did I steal his car? I might have stole his car. I do you know what? I can't remember. I had some kind of decently fast car though, so I might have stole his. And then yeah, obviously he tried tracking me down, and for then another hour I was just doing loops of the big freeway circle trying to get away from this guy, and eventually gave up and quit. And yeah, I went off GTA Online and was like, well, never going on there again. I'm never ever ever giving that man a chance to get me back. No mind, look, I'll log on to it in like 18 years time and I'll just so happen to bump into him. Probably still sat outside the casino waiting for me. I won't blame him. I don't even want to know how long I would have waited outside the casino if it had taken him longer than 40 minutes to pop out of there. I'd have been there for a good few hours. I was that stubborn. You can see though, it's definitely a much better way to go, cutting like down the lake on the way back. And in theory, yeah, I could have cut there on the way up, I suppose, but just to kind of mix it up a little bit while I was heading there, I only had empty medium trailers, so it didn't really matter if they tipped. They weren't as heavy, etc., so I kind of thought, yeah, we'll do it half and half, kind of head there the more difficult way, go back this way slightly easier. And you can see by now, though, even though I managed to top up with my well-placed semi-fuel trailer thing, I am just about out of fuel now. Just wanted to try and make it to the road before I run out, before I start topping up. I have no real particular reason why. I suppose in real life it makes sense not to park on a frozen lake and just make it to the road. It's funny though, because the fuel is actually going pretty low now. Normally I thought by now the wheels would already be jiggling. They even were doing it to me the other day on some kind of vehicle. What was it, when I was doing that weather station mission? But this thing, to its credit, it managed to only get down to about, was it 6 or 7 litres or something before it started juddering. Even now it's still pulling pretty decently. So yeah, when I said the other day it shouldn't start doing it until about 5 litres, it was like the game heard me and made it happen. So yeah, unpack me loaf. I can just take fuel from the loaf without unpacking it, but it'll take it from the loaf's fuel tank. I can't use the roof rack unless I unpack it, which is a bit of a faff around, but whatever. So, roof rack to my Dolphin. Went to go and repack it, but oh no, it's because the loaf was leaning too far over. But see, he knows what he's doing. Fling a winch out. Jiggle them wheels around, get them skidding over. Job's a good one. Getting him precise on here, because you've got to have enough power to get up there, fortunately. Like spider loaf. But yeah, it doesn't leave a lot of room for error when you're trying to balance a goddamn horse or vehicle on top of a Dolphin. Which, to be fair, no one ever said balancing a horse on a Dolphin would be easy. But he did it. And, yeah, now he's positioned again. We can pack him, and we're back on the way. Always does that game. It's like, when there's a truck right behind me, can the game not just prioritise winch into vehicles over trees? Especially when you're staring directly at the vehicle. Like, I can appreciate, yeah, if I'm looking out to the forest, that it tries to winch to one of them. One thing I do find a bit odd on this game is, yeah, I put it into high now. When I was saying about, like, you have to manually start the engine on the Paystar, it doesn't always... It still seems like something's a bit iffy with it. Like right now, even in high, I was pretty much about to stall there, so I quickly changed to this, thinking, oh, maybe the engine's off, and the engine's running, so I was like, oh, fair enough. Change back, stick the winch on, set off. Oh, sorry, apologies, there was a little glitch there, but I went straight up into second or third gear, stuck it in high, and now we're going along, like, way easier and better than I was 2 minutes ago on the exact same piece of road, trying to do the exact same thing, so... It's weird, for some whatever happened there, by changing to the Paystar and back to the Dolphin, it improved the situation somehow. But yeah, we're pretty much here, which is, it was good. Like I said, all things considered, this mission went pretty well. There wasn't really any... I think there was any hiccups, nothing really rolled. There's a few times I had to disconnect the road train and drive both the pieces through separately, but... Yeah, that's not the end of the world. And you see, without bringing the Paystar and doing the whole 3 logs in that sideboard thing, I'd now get here, drop both of these off, And I don't know, I suppose turn round, fuel one of these up, go all the way back to the other side of the map, grab one more set of medium logs, and drive all the way back, which, it's not the end of the world, but I've just done that, so it's kind of like, I don't need to do it again, it's not proving anything to me by that point. But yeah, that's 2 out of 3 delivered, and I certainly think this is a much quicker way, and as I said, there's only 3 logs, so I can get my crane in there so I can actually grab them, without that being awkward. I don't know what it was doing there, but I was like, sod it. Just grab one. We'll get 2 next time. It ain't going to let me get all 3, so I'm going to have to make two trips anyway. Yeah, it was a glitch, but pretty convenient one, so we'll let that one let that one pass. At least it didn't go into arcade crane mode and drop them halfway. And yeah, one reason it was nice to do this on this mission is I had no gateways to travel through, so no risk of it stealing my logs halfway through. But yeah, get it packed, delivered, and done. And I think, what was it, about 11 grand for this mission? It's not too bad, it's probably about fair. I don't know, maybe a bit more since it asked for 3. Maybe that's about 2 logs worth. 15 grand I think probably should have been the one for 3. But whatever. Got the money glitch, so I can go and earn like twice that every few seconds. And yeah, we're pretty much done now. This is just to show you why you bring a goddamn horse or a vehicle with you. Not that we needed any more proof, but just for the hell of it. I went a bit wide on that corner. I was originally supposed to go wide, so I didn't cut the Paystar in too wide, but yeah, I did tip. See, the loaf already shuffled himself to the point where he could fire his engine up. Winch onto the Dolphin, flip himself back up. Fling a winch out to there. So like the creature from the thing. Sees another post. Spider loaf. He's on his way. And that's why I had the choice when I was driving, do I put the autonomous or the advanced on? And yeah, I went with it and put the advanced on. Because worst case, if both of them were tipped over, I thought the chance of tipping all 3 vehicles is fairly slim. So I could always have tipped the Paystar, or sorry, used the Paystar to tip the loaf back. But he is a goddamn professional. He lands on like some kind of rescuable angle 99% of the time anyway. And yeah, drives off of here. I knew once I reached this post with my winch when I was next to the Dolphin that I'd be able to park behind it and do this. Dolphin rescued. Dolphin and the trailer rescued out of a ditch as well, which wouldn't have been too easy. The Paystar would have probably struggled doing that. Unless it wedged itself behind the thing anyway. But yeah, by now I was thinking, well, we came so far, and I would like my loaf to continue the journey with us. So this is how you get a loaf back on board. Get the trailer lined up, detach the trailer, get a Paystar as a little wedge, sat behind it, get yourself one goddamn horse of a vehicle. Stick it in reverse, it kind of scoops up things better in reverse. Gets his way up the trailer hitch, the trailer bumps into the Paystar so it can't just keep pushing the trailer back. Get a little bit wiggly. Stick a winch onto the Paystar, start hoovering myself up. Start catching on them bars though, so stick it in first gear, floor it forward, which skids my back end round. Back into reverse, and he's on. I mean, that is exactly why you get yourself a loaf. Oh, gotta make sure I want him in the middle. And there he is, back in the Dolphin. Reconnect the trailer. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Again, I like how relaxed they are with packing things, but I'm able to pack the loaf in the trailer, so now he's not going to skid out anywhere. I can go rallying, which is always nice. Of course, typical game, it goes and winches to that lamppost, but whatever. We're driving on our way. And yeah, again, I mean, it's worth bringing the loaf. Look at him. He's still got supplies, spare tyres. Still got about 70 odd fuel on him, I would have thought, so it's just the loaf that keeps on giving. And then, yeah, when I got to here, dropping the trailer off, it's obviously like, well, we've came so far, and I would like to bring the horse along for the rest of the journey. So I've got to unpack him. He sees what needs to be done. He yeets himself over the tow bar bit, jumps on the back of the Dolphin, and he's on. again. What a goddamn professional, ladies and gentlemen. Just make sure he's held on nice and good with the old crane. Which obviously I could winch him to me, but I'm about to winch the Paystar. Obviously, yeah, drop both the trailers off. And we're away. I mean, the loaf wheels are touching the Dolphin wheels, but it is what it is. Like I said, a little sideboard on the back of something would be nice, but I won't be holding my breath for it anytime soon. And yeah, fuel was getting pretty low, so I had to kind of drop the hammer. But you see, worst case, the loaf did have more fuel. However, the loaf had it perfectly timed with his roof rack. He just knows, his distances. And we got back with, what was it, 5 fuel to spare. Just about to start going all jiggly mode again, where it makes the tyres wobble. And yeah, that's about it. 1 Dolphin recovered, 1 Paystar recovered, and of course, the MVP, as usual, gets the job done every time. Yeah, that's about it for today though. I hope you've enjoyed, I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.